When fresh berries are in season, I love to make this mixed berry sauce. To get started, I'll be using 4 kinds of berries, 3 for the sauce: raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries. I'll be using strawberries, but I'm not going to be cooking the strawberries. And your first step is you need to wash your berries. And so just open your packages of berries, dump them into a sieve that's sitting in a tub of water, and then we'll give them a good swishing around before we add them to the pot to make our sauce. And the last one, the blackberries. When I was learning to make this sauce from my French friend Isabel, we had gone to the farmer's market first, and she bought all the berries, and then she came back to the kitchen, and much to my shock, she did not wash her berries, and I was truly mortified. All berries should be washed. Swish them around. You'll see things like leaves and other things, and give them a good swirl in the water, and you'll get a lot of sand and grit and out of them. And once they're rinsed to your satisfaction, just put them aside to drain until we're ready to put them in the sauce. Not all the berries will go into making of the sauce, so I've taken a few blueberries, blackberries, and raspberry out to keep them fresh, and now I'm cutting up our strawberries. I'm going to show you a little tip that I learned from my Japanese strawberry grower friend. The bud, the blossom is always here. Take that part off. There's always a little bit of a nub there. And then cut your berries. So I'm just slicing these, and I'll put them aside. And we'll add these fresh berries to our shortcake. So just cut your strawberries into bite-sized pieces and add them with the other berry mix. We'll sprinkle these lightly with sugar and then set them aside. Start with 3 ounces of sugar and 3 ounces of lemon juice. Once your mixture is starting to bubble around the edges, it's time to add your 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Again, to create a cornstarch slurry, just stir this around until all the lumps are gone. And the cornstarch, of course, is your thickening agent. This slurry is quite thick, so you'll have to continue to add water until you're happy with the thickness. I want this to be a little bit on the thick side. I'm using fresh berries, so they won't be releasing as much water as if I were using frozen berries, but you certainly can use frozen berries in this recipe just as easily as fresh. So once you're happy with the consistency of the slurry, and I am, it's time to just start adding your berries to the mixture. And we want to bring this to a gentle boil and boil it for about 5 minutes. The berries will start releasing some beautiful color, and the cornstarch will start giving it a thickness. Our berries are starting to break down. The raspberries break down first, and you'll still see your blueberries and your blackberries in there. This is the time that it's getting nice and thick, and you want to taste it for flavor, which I did, and to my taste it's pretty tart. It needs a little bit more sugar, so I'm adding 2 more tablespoons of sugar. Berries are all, depending on the time of the year they're picked or the kind of berries they are, you will need to adjust for your own sweetness. Just tasted it, and it's perfect to my taste. And now it's time to add about 1 tablespoon of orange or lemon zest. I'm using lemon zest. Take it off heat, and this will continue to thicken as it cools. And now you have a beautiful mixed berry sauce. It does have a lot of raspberry seeds in it. They don't bother me. If they bother you, then I would recommend cooking your raspberries separately and straining it before you add it to the mixture. But for me, this is exactly what I'm looking for. After your mixture has cooled down and before you jar it, this is the time I like to add all those fresh berries that I held out. I'm not going to cook them. I'm just going to blend them into the sauce before I put it in a jar. There are so many possibilities with this beautiful berry sauce, whether it's shortcakes or over ice cream, served with yogurt for breakfast in the morning. Possibilities are endless, but one thing is for sure, it will become a family favorite.